Welcome to Spotlight on Guilford. I'm Terry Kane. The guests in the studio with me today represent the organization Connecticut Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. And I'd like to introduce these two gentlemen. Bill Raccio, also known as Wild Bill. For reasons I don't know, but perhaps you can enlighten us.
During the second year fundraising, I raised the most as far as donations and ad sales for our program that we put out and all that. Hence, I was given the name Wild Bill because I was just going nuts selling stuff.
Ah, so it's well deserved. This year, as in years past, you're going to be the car show coordinator.
Correct.
So you can tell us more about the car show in a few minutes here. And I'd also like to introduce the second gentleman here, Ted Aub, who is, and I'm going to have to read all of these credits here, so forgive me, Assistant Program Director, State Coordinator of the Connecticut POWMIA Families, the Chief Political Liaison, the Entertainment Coordinator, and also Car Show Coordinator. So you have been involved for all 3 years of this event.
Yes, I have.
And the event we're talking about is taking place on April 21st, right? From
Correct.
10 to 3.
Yes.
And it's a huge event to celebrate the Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. And we need to give our audience a little bit of history on this because I told someone under 30 what I was going to be talking about today, and their response was, why would you have a Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day specifically? Why is that not just Veterans Day, and what is that all about? So I think we ought to start with talking about how this organization was formed and why it was formed.
Okay, well, this organization was started, I would say, approximately 4 years ago in California. The gentleman's name was Jose Ramos, and one of our people, the other coordinator, worked with him. He was stationed out there. He was a full-time soldier, and he still is at this particular writing. And they thought, you know, back over the treatment that the public, the government, the media gave the incoming troops from Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, and thought that a proper welcome was more in store, as with other conflicts that the United States has been involved in. So they started and had a celebration out there, and they were the first state. They got some help from the California General Assembly and most of the political people out there. One Congresswoman, Linda Sanchez, and they had a celebration. Consequently, this other fellow was transferred here, and he met one of our committee members, and they started up to let us, Connecticut, be the second annual, the second state in the nation to have a coalition to form a celebration. So this is going to be our 3rd year now, and if you look back on those days, I can specifically focus in the 66 to 67 era, right here in Connecticut and in New Haven. We had Yale University was a hotbed for anti-war sentiment. We had a coffee house downtown called the Exit Coffee House. There were 2 priests. One was the Berrigan brothers, and the other was Reverend William Sloane Coffin. They were very outspoken against the war. It's ironic that Yale University, which sits as one of the higher educational facilities in the country, is being protected by our soldiers but condemning the war. It was kind of disappointing to see that. We had the influx of the 1968 Democratic Convention, which turned into riots in Chicago, if you remember correctly, right. Back then. Right. We had the infancy and development of the Black Panthers. We actually had a murder in New Haven. Alex Rackley was found dead in the field. We also had a trial which the Black Panthers were on. It was unprecedented. There were machine guns on the roof of the courthouse. That's how volatile things were. We had the shootings at Kent State. So those are some of the factors that really stirred the country up. We were at a politically unrest situation, And I think more significant social changes occurred during that particular time period.
Right, so we have social unrest, we have the anti-war movement, and we have veterans, we have the troops coming home, and with all of the issues that we see troops coming home with today, joblessness, fitting into civilian society, and all of these things, and on top of that, not only are they not welcome home, but they are they're ridiculed.
Yes, they are. Back then, most troops, when they came APO San Francisco, to not wear the uniforms on the streets, and because Berkeley, California was another hotbed, probably similar to New Haven, the Oakland area. It was really a bad climate for a returning veteran. And I think we talked about, you could talk about what they call PTSD today. They called it shell-shocked in World War II. It has a lot of different names, but it's basically the same thing. The readjustment to civilian life is always going to be difficult, whether you're at conflict time, an actual war, or at peacetime. It's a totally different lifestyle being in the military, and there was a lot of pressure put on the returning Vietnam soldiers to make adjustments that a lot of them were just not capable of making.
Right, and without help from our society, our government, and others. So we'll fast forward here from the 60s to the end of that conflict in 1973, and what those veterans went through all of those years, to about the year 2000, was it, that it was first suggested, or a bill first came up to make a Vietnam Veterans Day.
Well, things that took place where a wall was constructed. It's down in Washington,
right?
And it has it has all the names, because we lost about 58,000, 200 or 300 United States citizens during that conflict. And in accordance with that, we still have 1,655 that are unaccounted for from the Vietnam era that we're still trying to relocate and give some closure to families.
Wow. So say that number again for us.
It's about 1,654.
Yeah, that's a lot of people unaccounted for.
And we have 26 from Connecticut to go in with that figure.
Right, right.
New York has about 100. Massachusetts maybe 35.
Right.
Because I with the POW MIA families, I travel to New York, Massachusetts, and make appearances and speak, as to what's going on with the POW situation. Right.
So back to the beginning of this particular event, or passed in the House, right? Was that
in 2010?
2010. So it's been about 3 years that the resolution was passed to establish this Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day, and the actual day is not the April 21st.
No, it's March 30th.
March 30th. So now what exactly happens on March 30th on this particular day?
Actually, not much.
Okay.
In reality, there's no celebration in Hartford, there's no parades, there's none of that stuff. The VFWs, your veterans will take notice to it, and all that. We provide an event for them to come out. We call it a celebration.
Right.
It's a way of saying thank you for your service. We even put up a map of Vietnam and let the guys sign in where they were and what years they were there. It's not part of Veterans Day per se. It's a separate thing. As far as the timing of the events, it all depends on when you can get a venue.
Okay.
As it's not a matter of, we got to have it on this day,
Right.
It's a celebration of the day, but and then to do a car show and stuff too, the weather gets cold. People don't want to.
Sure. So if it's outdoors, it's better to have it in a little warmer weather.
You gotta, go with the flow a little, so to speak, and you work around it, and whatever venue's available, you fill it up, and through any means possible.
Right. So you've had 2 successful celebrations.
Yes.
So far, the last one was where, in Shelton?
Shelton, down at Veterans Park, down along the Riverwalk. It was a beautiful spot.
And I saw some of the photographs from that online.
Yep.
And that looked like it was a really good time.
It was. It was well attended. People coming and going all day long. The food was there. The car show. I had a monster truck there. We had a flyover of a Huey and a Bell Ranger. Shelton, their fire department did the big flag and all that. We had the VA, the disabled vets from there, the vet services were there with their motorhome. So all in all, you know, the Patriot Guard, they show up, those guys are awesome. They do a flag line. They're going to be doing a flag line at ours again too for the presentation of the colors. So, you know, but with the Guilford Fairgrounds, it's the perfect venue, so to speak. Everything's all contained, it's all flat, nice, easy going. We could get the VA vans in, no problem. It's, the parking lot's huge, there's not going to be a traffic problem. You know, free admission, free parking, well, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And so what's in store for us on?
I just wanted to make just a slight correction.
Right.
This Saturday in Hartford, they're going to have the state is putting on a small, and I don't know how much of the state or the veterans committees, but they are going to have a reading of the names of the Connecticut residents that perished in Vietnam, and then they're going to have some finger food afterwards. And last year, the state had something at the Armory for Vietnam, but they toned it down to just a simple name reading this year. They're working with I think the History Department of Central Connecticut State University, and but we're actually the ones who are putting on the field event, as we have over the past 3 years. And so we have some speakers coming in. Our main speaker this year will be a fellow named Dennis Prue, and his nickname is Frenchie, and he's a Vietnam veteran from Taunton, Massachusetts. I had the honor of being their guest speaker last September on their 30th year anniversary for their organization, and he's coming down to reciprocate. I'm looking forward to seeing him. We became friends over I was told of their organization, contacted him, and we're in touch, you know, pretty much every week somehow. The Secretary of State, Denise Merrill, will be down to speak for us as well. And we have former Congressman Rob Simmons will be pretty much our MC. That he'll fulfill that, and he's pretty witty, and you know, being a congressman, he's pretty good about that.
But he comes as retired colonel.
Oh.
A reserve colonel.
Reserve,
okay.
yeah. And he did serve in Nam.
Oh, okay.
So he's been there, done that.
Right, so he's a good speaker.
Oh yeah, he's pretty sharp. And we have a few different people singing patriotic music, and then we have an actual a well-known band from New York City. Don't ask me their name, but
Oh, I know their name.
Yes.
The Suit, Ty, and Thirsty, spelled Thurrrstty. It's rock, blues, funk, soul, hip hop. It's a mix of all of that, and I just read a little bit about them on the internet, and that is going to be a good concert.
It is.
And they just put out an album.
Right.
They just finished an album. We met with them, and so we're kind of excited because there's a little something for everybody. We have a couple of singers that come in. It's a man and his wife, and she's an opera-style singer, and they do very well with the patriotic music, which everybody likes. And then we haven't completely settled on it. We'll do a couple of military procedures that the people will always like. We did a flag folding ceremony where we explain what each fold of the flag signifies.
Oh, that's good. That's good to do.
And at the fundraiser dinner, we did the Missing Man Honors Table ceremony, which is probably better for indoors than out, you know. But and we also you know we did a last roll call last year, which was again liked by the crowd. So we'll have a few people coming in to speak, and nothing that will put people to sleep.
Right.
We keep them, down to six minutes.
We hope.
Or so.
We hope it doesn't put them to sleep.
Yeah, keep them entertained. And the actual ceremonial, the speakers, that part goes on what, about noon?
That's going to start at 12 o'clock.
At 12 o'clock, and that'll go for a while. And the rest of the time, between 10 and 3, the car show will be open.
The cars, generally those guys, they all come early.
They all
so
come early.
I figure by 9 o'clock, cars are going to be rolling into that.
All right, so tell us about the car show. Just a little preview
Well,
about what's going on.
They'll be lining up. They'll be coming in.
What kind of cars are we
Classic
talking about?
cars, antique cars, hot rods. I've got antique fire trucks coming, antique cop cars coming, everything and anything. There's no cutoff date, anything but a rolling boombox, and you know, everything else is welcome. You know, I don't care if it's a truck, a motorcycle, bicycle. If it's antique and you can get it there, bring it on in. New muscle. I've invited some of the car dealers to bring down, you know, like new Dodge Chargers, stuff like that.
Oh, good.
You know, everything and anything. We got goodie bags. We got dash plaques for the first 150 cars.
And what's that?
Dash plaque is like a souvenir. So, you know, it gives the name of the event, the date, and the time on it. And this one actually looks like the Vietnam ribbon. It's got the colors of the Vietnam ribbon. And
We
stuff.
collect them with our classic cars. When you go to these shows, it's kind of like
not prestige, but
badge,
it's a
badge of honor, so to
type
speak.
thing.
Where
Yeah, well, you'll have to explain this to me. I've never been to a car show.
we have
so-
a community. You know, the car
Right.
community is pretty close knit, and the car and motorcycle community are probably two of the most charitable communities toward needs in this country that you'll ever have. It's unspoken, and everybody works very hard together for different things.
different charities of all kinds.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been involved with, you know, events where we work with the Child Life program down at Yale New Haven Hospital, and you know, and we got
Toys for
toys
tots,
and things of that nature.
all sorts of stuff.
These are some, you know, like with that program, some of these kids never make it to 10 years old.
Right.
They've never been outside. You know, we respond to that. We always have, and it's a nice close-knit community. You guys have a lot of pride in their vehicles.
Right.
They'll be polishing them, dusting them.
Can you look? You go look under the hood and
Oh,
see
yeah.
what's
Oh, yeah, the
going
hoods will
on?
be
The
up
hoods
for
will be
most.
Oh, they will
open.
be.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. There's guys that do props. There's one guy, I think his name is John. He's got a black Trans Am. He's got a cardboard cutout of Burt Reynolds that sits in the driver's seat. Smokey and the Bandit, you know?
Right,
So, I mean, everybody gets into different things.
Yeah.
But there's a camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, there's husband and wives that have been doing it for years. You know, and this year being the 50th anniversary of Vietnam too, it's a little more special for us.
Right.
Because, you know, 2013, since 1963, is actually the 50th year, so, you know, it holds a little more.
Yeah.
And like I said, the fairgrounds, we just couldn't ask for more.
Right.
Better place.
Right. And it's free admission. All of this for free.
Yep,
The concert-
$10 for the car show.
Yeah, the concert.
for the car show.
$10 for the car show.
Per
That's
car.
That's separate.
That's separate.
Oh,
But
when the cars come in,
they pay 10 bucks.
They pay $10.
They get a goodie bag with
but
stuff
the
in it.
audience doesn't.
Audience is free admission.
Audience is free admission to the
free
car
parking.
show, to the concert,
grounds,
everything.
everything.
The
It's a
grounds,
It's a family.
everything,
It's
all
a
day
family
long.
event, and we always say, veterans and their families from any era are
Yep.
welcome. We're privileged to honor the Vietnam era veterans, but we graciously want all veterans who would like to come and
Right.
join us. And we also have food. There'll be food there, as well as some craft show booths. And
We got
things of
moon bounce,
Oh, yeah,
face
what-
painting
what
for
the
kids.
kids, yeah.
To bring the kids in. We got vendors. We got 3 different food vendors
Uh-huh.
coming. So we got a barbecue, we got a pizza, and we got hot dogs, burgers,
Right.
breakfast sandwiches, coffee.
Something for everybody.
Everybody. That's the
Yep.
whole goal, to make it a true community event.
Now, you mentioned to me before we went on air something about the face painter you've got coming in is
This
pretty special.
this lady's name is Z, and she's an award-winning painter. She's painted on people's faces and costumes on Broadway and stuff. And I didn't get all her bio. If I'd known I needed it, I would have
Yeah.
brought it in for you. But she's going to be the face painter there, and her artwork is incredible.
So,
Incredible.
yeah.
So there's going to
maybe-
be some hot-looking kids
some-
running around with some big artwork on them.
Maybe some adults are going to want to
You never know.
get that art too.
That could.
Yeah.
It could very well
yeah,
happen.
It sounds like fun.
We're going to be doing raffles during the day.
Okay.
We got some, baskets and stuff like that. We're going to do a 50-50. Come on down. Channel 8's going to be there. We're going to start live shooting at 6 in the morning. It's going to be a great day.
It sounds wonderful. And then we should let the public know that there is a rain date.
Yep.
So this is not rain or shine. It's actually, if we do have stormy weather, the rain date is the following Sunday, which is
The
the
28th.
28th.
Yes.
Still the same time, 10 to 3. But the original date will be the 21st, April 21st, 10 o'clock in the morning. And rain date, April
Farmer's
28th.
Almanac said it's going to
Yeah,
be
fine,
sunny.
if we're
It's
going
gonna
by
be
the
sunny,
Farmer's
so
Almanac,
yeah, we don't have to
we're in
worry
an
about
agricultural
It's
town
an
here,
agricultural
so
society
so-
field, so I
Right.
think we're good.
we're good.
that. Right,
I think the sun will shine.
We'll
for
stick
us.
with the Farmer's Almanac,
excellent,
you know. It may get me in hot water with some weather people, but oh
right.
well.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a real fabulous event, and I am sure there will be a good turnout. I hope all of you watching will tell friends, neighbors, families to come to this event, join this fine organization, and welcome home Vietnam veterans.
Thanks.
And I
Thank
think-
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming in.
I think if you wanted to
for coming
characterize the event with one word, it would be therapeutic.
Ah,
It's good for everybody. It's just
Yeah.
it's a nice day.
Good.
And it's always provides warmth for a long time, and then we have to get back to work to do our 4th annual.
that's right. Start right away.
In
Well,
May,
we'll take a little bit of a
May,
break. but
June, May,
Yeah.
June, and May,
Actually, we've
June
already started looking
Yeah,
for
for your next venue.
yes.
Well, we're lucky to have it at Guilford this year, so everyone in Guilford, please come out for this event. Thank you both for all of your hard work, and thank you for watching Spotlight on Guilford.